What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and oh my God, I got some good news. Well, for those of you who live in Georgia, and guess what? If you live in New York, oh my God, let me give you a big old clap, yay! New York is not acting like a libtard city for once in its life. So this is about the squatter law, and of course, Ron DeSantis, my man, okay, DeSantis, he basically led the charge in getting these squatters out of these homes where they are basically staying in illegally. So he started where he made it illegal for people, for squatters to stay in people's homes, and also made it a felony if you cause over $1,000 worth of damage in the home, misdemeanor if anything under $1,000, and of course the police can remove you, because remember, this was always a civil situation. So when people called the police, they couldn't do nothing. I remember 2 times, that's when I realized squatters were a problem. 2 times when people were called the police and we got there, and someone moved in their grandmother's house because she's in hospice, and somebody knew this and they basically were staying in this place. It had all the electricity on and the water going, and basically there was nothing we could do. And our supervisors told us, well, this is a civil matter. They would have to go and evict this person, and it took a long time. But in the process, once they get the eviction notice from I think it's either the marshal or the sheriff, deputy sheriff, excuse me, they were able to destroy things within the house and rage and then leave. And then, of course, all that money has to be paid to rebuild everything and replace everything. It's just a hot mess. So a lot of problems happen due to the coof. And of course, we already know what's going on when landlords couldn't even collect their rent. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me not go into the past. Let's talk about what happened right now. And we're going to start with my favorite state, Georgia. Oh, Georgia. I love my Kemp. Let me tell you, I told you guys on the last video, I said, listen, I've checked out of all of what's going on federally because I'm depending upon my governor. All right. I've lived here for decades, and here's the deal. Governor Kemp this is his 2nd term. He has protected us from the tyrannical laws and the things going on from the federal government under the Koofy Koof. He has saved us from that. He has saved us from a lot. Oh, we have constitutional carry, honey. Okay. And now he did this. I guess he wasn't going to get undersold by DeSantis, because once DeSantis signed this law, basically giving homeowners back their rights, this is then when Governor Kemp jumped on board, and I am so happy because I do have property. So let's go ahead and look at this really quick. Governor Kemp officially signed Squatter Reform Act into law. Here's when it will take effect. Spoiler alert, it already takes effect. As soon as he signed it, it is in effect. So if you're in Georgia and you have a squatter, or you know someone with a squatter, just call the police. They can remove them now. I am so happy about this. Let's go ahead and look at the, let's look at the video here. Let me bring this down a little bit so you guys can see this and we can learn more.
Well, just hours ago, Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill into law which will officially make it illegal for someone to squat or live on another person's land without approval. Now, squatting has taken center stage here in Georgia, especially over the last year, and several homeowners have had to share their nightmare stories with us here at 11 Alive.
That's right. So take a look at this. Did you know that Atlanta is actually the top city for squatters? A survey from the National Rental Home Council found that more than 1,200 homes in the area have reportedly had squatters, while the 2 cities behind us are Dallas and Orlando.
I had no idea. I would have sworn it was New York. Now, I don't know if this is just for all of the United States, but we were number one. Well, I don't live in Atlanta. I'm further south, but Atlanta can consist of DeKalb County, Fulton County. Am I missing a county? Anybody who is up in that area? So 1,200 people a year. Child, please, I swear.
They've had less than 500. So we want to go to 11 Alive's Brittany Klein-Peter right now. She's been digging on this, covering so many of these stories, Brittany. And you are breaking it down for us tonight on what this means for Georgians. People believe, or when you think about it, people are saying squatters can be in my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has been the question we have been discussing for months now. And as you guys mentioned, Atlanta has been at the center of this national conversation surrounding squatter rights since that point. But tonight, lawmakers are putting their foot down, saying squatters are no longer welcome here in Georgia.
Yay!
From trespassers taking control over rental properties and homes of the deceased to clashing with property owners, 11 Alive has covered all of it. And
I also remember, I'm sorry, I had to stop this. It's not only rental property and where it's been abandoned property, but this has also happened with Airbnb. Now, this is something that has happened also in Georgia. I don't know what part of Georgia, but this woman was renting out a room in her Airbnb, and this woman moved in and she wouldn't leave. She was like, this woman was having this hostile woman, okay, this ratchet hostile woman living with her against her will, and she wouldn't leave. And it's like, she was so afraid, and there was nothing she could do. And of course, it took her almost over a year to get this woman out. Like, she was so afraid to even leave her home, so she would have friends to come over to watch her home, and all because of Airbnb. This woman wanted to rent her room, and she stayed in that room, and she realized that there were squatter rights, and it was a mess. It was a hot mess. That woman she would never use Airbnb again. But I would have to say it's not Airbnb's fault. And of course, Airbnb had canceled that woman's membership. But even this is what I'm saying. People are using Airbnb to squat in these people's homes and not leave. So this is a problem, and hopefully this will come across a lot of other states. But I'm so happy this is in Georgia. I never had a problem with squatters. As a matter of fact, I do a profile when I deal with squatters, and let's just say like every male that I have rented to, I never had a problem out of them. You know what I'm saying? There's a science to this, okay? I'm sorry, let's get back to this.
throughout that time, one question has continued to come up.
And somebody can just come break in my house and move in and just say they belong here.
But tonight, homeowners like Tia, who were victimized by squatters, can breathe a sigh of relief.
I'm elated. It's a new beginning. Hopefully this is the first of many new changes with the law for the squatters.
After a long journey through the House and Senate, Governor Brian Kemp officially signed the Georgia Squatter Reform Act into law Wednesday.
Today is a great day to be a Georgian and a bad day to be a squatter.
Representative Devin Seabaugh, who sponsored the bill, says it will now make it easier for homeowners to remove people staying on the property without permission.
Prior to this law being enacted, it was taking 8 months to 2 years to get somebody out of their property.
Up until now, property owners like Tia had to go to the courts to remove squatters.
It was very stressful, going to the courts, hoping to get some help, waiting on a court date, not being able to get them out, paying money to fix the damages that they caused.
But under the new law, it will be treated as a criminal matter, speeding up the eviction process. And for those that have dealt with these nightmare situations, they say it's a great first step towards offering homeowners more protection.
Yes, we need it.
Brittany, like you said in this package, a long time coming. So how does this impact the time frame to get squatters out of those homes?
So the biggest difference here is that it was a civil matter. Now it's going to be a criminal matter. So that will speed up things. It will allow these squatters to have up to 3 days to show proof of that lease, show proof of residence at that home. But within those 3 days, they will be removed. Prior to this, as you heard in the package, they would have to go to the court system, file an eviction notice, and that could take several weeks, even years at some time. So definitely make it quicker and faster for these homeowners. For now, reporting outside the Capitol, Brittany Klein-Peter, 11 Alive.
So this is the best thing. So as soon as the police are called, they got to go. And this is a great thing because this prevents them from destroying further things inside the house. It prevents them from breaking in. So the person who owns the home, they can change the locks, and they would have to show proof. They got 3 days to show proof that they are legally staying in their home. And this is so great because as soon as the police get there, they have to leave. And if they don't, they are arrested. And of course, the police will, with their body cameras, of course, they can walk around, surveil the home. And not only is the damage or the condition of the home is filmed on their body cameras, but you can also go in there after that and do it as well. Now, I don't know if the real homeowner is allowed to take control of the property, but I don't even know the answer to that. If anybody know the answer to that, please leave that answer below this video in the comment section. However, I do like the fact that they can get out because this is what these people do. They cause more money by causing a lot of damages to the pipes. They clog up the plumbing. They destroy the electricity, the electrical wire. Sorry, not the electricity. They destroy the electrical wiring of the house. Then put holes in the walls. I'm glad that has not happened to me. I've seen it happen to other people who are friends or associate of mine who have rented out to a particular, people, sexually. But, yeah. So, there's that. Now, here's the deal. It's a little bad over there in Arizona because guess what? The Democrat governor, the demon rat governor, wow, Florida has approved the bill and turned into law going against squatters in favor of homeowners. Now, Georgia has done it. And of course, New York, we're going to talk about that last because that was really good for a lot of those of you in New York. Looks like Arizona is like, no. We got to protect the squatters. We got to protect the squatters, okay? Boy, I know y'all hate that this woman is your governor now, huh? Should have got Carrie Lake, I swear. Internet accuses Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs of emboldening criminals after she vetoes bill aimed at squatters. Okay, so here we have the Katie Hobbs, the Democratic governor in Arizona, vetoed a bipartisan state bill aimed at strengthening the rights of homeowners looking to evict squatters from their property on Tuesday, April the 23rd. So you had a bipartisan, you had the Democrats and the Republicans, okay? They both said, yeah, we need to do something about these squatters. And here you go, demon rat Katie was like, no, we need to shade the squatters. This is not a good thing. It's not good. According to Fox News, the governor's decision comes at a time when rising cases of squatting continue to be a major cause of concern for homeowners across the country. Crafted by Senator Wendy Rogers, SB 1129, would have permitted a homeowner whose property was invaded and illegally claimed by a squatter to request law enforcement for the immediate removal of the said squatter. The same thing that we have here in Georgia and in Florida and now in New York. Like I said, we're gonna talk about that later. So it's the same law. I don't understand why she would veto. Well, she's gonna give her reason in a minute. Okay. The owner would have to submit an affidavit acting on which the police would have had the permission to immediately go in and have someone evicted, reported by Fox News. Hobbs reportedly blocked the bill in a short letter to the president of the state Senate. Said, and this is what she said. This is what this helper said. Today, I veto Senate Bill 1129. This bill fails to leverage existing legal mechanisms and respect to the due process rights of lawful tenants and minimize unintended consequences such as the victims of domestic abuse. No, domestic violence. That's not true. She's just lying. She's just lying. Look at her. She looks like a liar. This is what a liar looks like. But anyway, I mean, it sucks to be over there in Arizona. Maybe when y'all get yourself a new governor, hint, hint, you may can chill with the rest of us who are doing something with these squatters. But here's the shocking news. Oh, y'all ready for something shocking? New York. The governor of New York. The governor of New York, that heifer, came to her assistance and actually signed the bill to make it illegal for squatters and also give the authority for the police to remove them. I'm just so what? Now, the reason why this happened is because it was a big brouhaha. Y'all remember that lady who had those squatters inside her home, and basically she changed the locks, and then the other squatters came in and reported the police to her, and they arrested the homeowner. Now, of course, all the charges were dropped and the real squatter was arrested, but it took that to happen for the citizens to say, okay, listen, I'm getting a little tired of us basically coddling these criminals. We need to do something to protect those of us who have property, and those, especially those who have inherit property from their loved ones. And of course, these places are empty, and squatters love abandoned homes. And so this is what had basically started, and it was a big ruckus in New York, and here we are. So I do like our story here in Georgia, but I would have to say I do like this story too. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
Starting our newscast at 5:30. You know, our job every day is to inform you, our viewers, and often we make a difference in people's lives, and today we made a huge difference.
Investigative reporter Dan Kraft spent months digging into the actions of squatters who took over homes while the real owners were absent and simply claimed the empty houses belonged to them. And in a frustrating and bizarre way, it worked.
Except it didn't, really, until Eyewitness News made it all public, and now lawmakers are starting to make it all fair. Dan Kraft made this happen. He's here now with what it means. Dan?
Teamwork, Bill. It means it should make it easier for police to take action against squatters. The revisions to the law happened over the weekend. The governor quickly signed the bill, and as of today, the state law has officially been changed.
The bill is passed.
I am so shocked she signed this bill.
And Senate approved the last-minute changes made to the squatter law.
That's not going on.
Lawmakers say it was the standoff we captured on camera that helped bring support from both sides of the aisle. A Queens homeowner was arrested for changing the locks on her own home to prevent an accused squatter from getting inside. The charges were later dropped against her, and the Queens DA then filed charges last week against him.
Your coverage on Channel 7, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A video is like 10,000 pictures mashed into one.
Which showed what real New Yorkers are going through.
It just really stoked an outrage among New Yorkers, both homeowners and people who dream of becoming homeowners.
Yeah. All that property tax they got to pay, all these fees, and you mean to tell me that you got these squatters, and there's a lot of them too. I mean, California has several mansions that are wreaking havoc in the area because squatters have just basically invaded these places and just throwing parties. They are just like having all kind of people just come in and out of this place, and the police can't do anything because it's a civil matter. Once police don't involve themselves in anything civil, okay? But they only can do something when it's criminal. So it's like having someone staying in a place and you both are arguing about who owns it, and they can have fake documents. That's the thing. They can have fake documents, which is illegal. But I mean, how did the police officers know? So this is the reason why I love the fact that, they have that where you got to get out of the house and you got to prove that the paperwork you have is legal. And if you don't, you still get arrested because you have, and I think that's a misdemeanor. If you, in Georgia, I'm only talking about Georgia, if you possess paperwork of a contract and it's a fraudulent one. So that was really good.
What are you doing in the house?
After our series of investigations, lawmaker...
It's becoming more and more
a problem.
After lawmaker,
we need to make a change.
After state lawmaker filed bills to prevent squatting from happening.
It's something we absolutely needed to take quick action on.
They reached a compromise. A small change, lawmakers say, will have a big impact. They changed the state's property law, stating a tenant shall not include a squatter.
What will this allow police to be able to do moving forward?
My law just makes it very clear that squatters are not tenants.
They're hoping it will make it easier for police to intervene in cases when someone enters a home without permission or legal paperwork, instead of having to take them to housing court.
It was the voices of so many of your viewers, my constituents, everyone from across New York State. After we did the story last time, I got hundreds of calls from individuals who said they were finally being heard.
And lawmakers aren't wasting any time. It goes into effect immediately.
Okay. And so what does this mean going forward? Like we say immediately. Does that mean squatters are going to be out immediately, or what's the...
It means in clear-cut cases, when a stranger moves into a home in the middle of the night, police will now have more authority to arrest them. Remember, one of the first questions you asked me weeks ago is, why can't you arrest someone for trespassing? That's because the moment anyone says they're a tenant, without legal paperwork, police were ordered by law to send them to housing court. Now they can intervene early before that happens.
And when she says arrest someone, she means it tough.
She's always
You and your team made this happen, my brother.
Oh,
really,
teamwork,
really
all of us.
It affects everybody out there.
Thank you for shining the light on this problem.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, congratulations. I'm surprised. Now, Georgia doing this, of course, I expect that. I expect this to happen in Tennessee next, and maybe South Kakalaki and Alabama. Maybe Alabama, not so much. But South Kakalaki and North Kakalaki, probably. Definitely Tennessee is next to be on the roster to do something about these squatters. But my man Ron DeSantis always leading the charge, I swear. Woo! Yeah, instead of that landlord referendum. Anyway, so New York, this is a huge W for you guys. Like, you've been taking a lot of L's lately, but this is a good one for you. So I'm really happy for you guys, especially those of you who own property up there and have been victims of squatters and probably in the process of getting rid of them starting tomorrow. Okay. All right. This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. Be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think about this story, and are you going to basically ask your governor or your congressman or woman to enact this law too? And those of you who are Arizona, what y'all going to do about Katie, honey? She been causing all kind of problems. Anyway, let me know. Talk to me in the comments section, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Later, taters.